Welcome to SportsbookReview.com. I'm Flash and we're going for the National Championships. LSU Tigers at 15-0 versus the Clemson Tigers at 29-0. Going for their third championship in 4 years. And can you believe it? Bovada going 6.5 points on the plus side for the champions. Don't look any further. Go to sbrvideo.com/Bovada. Take the 6.5. It might not be there by the end of this video. I'm so pumped for this. But I'm so pumped because I've got the Big Ragoo and DJ Big Boss in the house. I'm going to come to you first, DJ Big Boss. Tell me how the reigning champs that have not been beaten in 2 years, January 18 was the last time the Clemson Tigers were beat, and yet they're getting 6.5 points at Bovada.
Hey, just like they used to say on the Winnie the Pooh show, the wonderful thing about Tigers on both of the teams. It's the clash of the Tigers on this one, man. But Clemson in this one haven't lost a game in a long time. LSU is built off of the team itself, some coaching adjustments that they did, but just a really good team that like to play hard on the field. But Clemson, this is a machine here. They headed by Sweeney, and they have the pilot Lawrence, and the defense is heavy over there as well. So you're getting this is another better thing. I went against the grain in the Ohio State game. Here's again, we're getting a great team at a wonderful line. As a matter of fact, we're getting plenty of points with this team right here, and I don't see them as being piss poor to the point that they're not going to show up to play against this team. And if Barrow gets any type of pressure and hits the ground too many times, that's done. He's not used to that right there. There's not going to be no pretty little passes to the outside corner after that. It's going to be rough. And Trevor Lawrence has been running all up and down the field. This guy is fast. He has incredible speed. So in this one, if I had to take a side, I'd definitely jump on Clemson. But my main pick lies in the total.
Total at 69.5. That's a good one for me to go to the Ragoo with, because I'm going to hit you with two linebackers. Jacob Phillips at 105 tackles and Isaiah Simmons coming up to 100 tackles. I think he hits 100 tackles in this game. I like the under 69.5 Ragoo. And I love the Clemson Tigers.
Hey, you're going to get a lot of different looks in this game. Not so much as a traditional defensive battle, but a lot of scheming, I would say, especially with LSU's offense. They've been like a freight train running off the rails. I mean, they took everything in front of them and just basically, knocked it into next week as far as points goes, as far as offense and for scoring. This team has been an absolute monster. And I don't really think they got a good test against Oklahoma, because I think there was better teams available to put in that spot. But, they kind of went through a practice run. Now they get a real football team on the other side of the ball. Like you said, linebacker we know on the defensive side, Clemson has lost some NFL talent on the front line. But linebackers and defensive backs, that's a whole nother world that Clemson is going to throw at LSU. I really like this kid, Isaiah Simmons. He's a first-round pick. He's going to be the first linebacker chosen in the draft. And I think, to be honest with you, he's going to be the difference maker in this game. When Venables is going to throw a lot of different looks at the LSU, and we're going to see our guy Simmons make some key plays. He's going to be the difference maker for me.
Yeah, money line plus 185 for the champions. Is someone winding me up here? The champions that have not been beat in 2 years at plus 185. Take the 185. Take the plus 6.5. I don't see any problem. And I'm going to come to you, DJ Big Boss, and I'm going to say this is all about the T's. There's Trevor, there's Travis, and there's T.
Oh, there's all kinds of T's on the Clemson side of the ball. But like I said, my main pick is in the total right here. You got Clemson, they're averaging 45 points a game. LSU is averaging 48 points a game. That explains why we have a high total with the 69 here. But if you go do your homework, you'll find that when these teams play top competition, which Clemson didn't play too much top competition this year. They played Texas A&M. That was a low-scoring game. They also played a kind of a rival in North Carolina. That was a low-scoring game. Now, LSU on the other side did play a high-scoring game to Texas, which was a good matchup, but it still would have fell under 69. And then some of the other competition that they had, they stepped down a little bit too. So I find a lot of love right here for the under in this game. Defensive-wise, Clemson is holding teams to 11.5 points. LSU is holding teams to 21.6 points. Even though it may look like it's going to be an offensive showdown for both of these teams, I think at some point somebody's got to play some defense, and I'm going to be taking the under 69.5 right now.
Let me back you up, Big Boss, because Clemson have killed 75% of QB's passing yards up to this point. Well, I tell you now, that means that Joe Burrow, he's not going to have no 350, he's not going to have no 400, and then if it comes down to the defensive side of the ball, Ragoo, I can only see Clemson winning their third title in 4 years.
Listen, both of these teams want to score points. You got to score points to win the game. We know that's a fact. But the look we're going to get here on both sides of the ball, they're both dynamic teams in their own right, different ways. Burrow with the passing, and Etienne and our guy at the quarterback, is going to try to run the ball first, I think. So that's going to open up some holes down the field. I think they're going to kind of suck them in on both sides. But the thing that worries me about Clemson is if they get exposed in the pass, which I don't think they will, but I think they're going to play off the ball and they're going to scheme on the defensive side. And offensively, they're going to try to create some holes with the run and some different looks down the field. So I don't think this is going to be a trench game. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, but I think the game is going to take the game from the secondary forward, not from the front line back. So I look for both teams to eat offensively up and down the field, but the points will come at a premium. So I like the plus side of the points here, and with a sprinkle on the money line for Clemson. I think the game comes down to 3 or 4 points, not necessarily 6, 7, or 10 points. I think it's a one-score game, but it's a one-score game differential with 3 or 4 points on the plus side.
Would you allow me just to be really naughty and ask for a prediction, Ragoo?
Okay, I think it's going to be less than 60 points. And I think it's going to be a 31-27, 31-28 type of game. I'm taking Clemson plus the points, and I'm sprinkling on the money line.
Okay, DJ Big Boss, you've had your inkling, you've had your tutorship from Ragoo. Give me a score. Pick one out the air.
I'm looking at it. I can see LSU scoring about 4 to 5 touchdowns. So that's going to give me 28-35 on that side. And I can see Clemson sliding in right under the same thing, 4 or 5 touchdowns. But I think it's going to be a lopsided game, and we're all going to be wrong. And not really contrarian, but like Big Ragoo say, points are going to come at a premium. And I think it stays just under the total at 69.5. Wow. So I'm looking at about let's say 27-35.
Wow. How have you ever come to that number? I've got here 35-27 to Clemson Tigers, the champs, the team. Let me leave you with this. The team that was last beaten on January the 1st, 2018. Thank you, Ragoo. Thank you, DJ Big Boss. Enjoy the game on Monday. I've been Flash, we've been Sportsbook Review, and it's been our absolute pleasure to take you through all the bowl games. But this is the big one, the National Championships. You take care.